Shut up, I wasn't going to kiss you anyway. He laughed slowly and brushed a strand of hair behind your ear with his injured hand. Liar, your friend saved you from admitting it, but your eyes didn't lie just now. He was approaching, footsteps grew louder, saving you from responding. I'll make you admit it later. You looked away, and in no time, Eva reached the spot. What are you guys doing here? She asked, straight up glancing between you and Shango. Shango leaned towards your ear and whispered, tell her we were about to kiss. He showed him a look to be quiet and turned back to Eva. I was just going to the restroom and I saw his hand bleeding and he said, pointing his hand, making Eva's eyes travel to Shango's hurt hand. She was about to take back her eyes, but immediately stared at it again, intensely seeing the fabric wrapped around it. Wait, that's your gown? What the heck? You used your gown? You ripped it. You quickly put your hand over her mouth to hush her. It's not a big deal. Look, he's bleeding a lot. He has a deep cut. We need to take him to the hospital like now. Eva was still shocked behind your hand, but she nodded slowly. For what, man? I'm fine, really. You need to be quiet. I can see you're hurt. That cut is deep and still bleeding a bit. Eva intervened, concerned for the performance creeping into her voice. Why, what about the show? Everyone's waiting for you. You glanced down at your torn gown, then back at Eva. I couldn't go up there anyway, not like this. Tell Emily I'm sorry. Say I have a terrible headache and I'm going home. Then he looked at Zhao, thinking practically. You drove here, right? He nodded slowly, still looking pale. You turned back to Eva. You know how to drive, right? We'll take him to the hospital. You can drop us off and then go back to the show. Eva nodded quickly, getting the plan. She walked over to get Jungkook's car, grabbing the key, and he started staring at you really hard. You're giving up your performance and that gorgeous dress, everything, but you're still pushing me away. It's like you don't have anything for me. No feelings, no heartache, nothing. He reached out with his hurt hand and gently touched your cheek a bit. But your eyes tell a different story, mine. They show you're scared of falling for me, scared of getting hurt, and scared to admit how you really feel. His thumb brushed your skin, making you shiver a little. Eva will be back with the car soon. But before she comes, tell me, mine. Am I just imagining the connection we have? He looked at you with such vulnerability, like his heart was waiting for your answer. Shangok, I can't really think straight right now. I'm more worried about this wound. He nodded slowly, keeping his eyes on you, like he understood that you needed a break from the heavy stuff. Right now, you need to focus on stopping me from bleeding out, not on my feelings for you. He smiled a little, but his eyes still seemed serious. Just take care of this wound and we can talk about my feelings later. Just then Eva pulled up in Jungkook's sleek black car, honking softly. Hospital time, hop in. Eva called out, which you both heard through the open window. He offered his uninjured arm for support, looking at you expectantly. You shook your head, smiling softly, and gently took his injured hand instead of his offered arm. He winced slightly as you supported his hurt hand, but his eyes lit up because of your touch. I try my best to hold this forever. Your heart skipped a beat at his whispered promise, but you stifled your smile and teased him instead. Blood is still oozing out and you're getting romantic. Better don't faint. But your fingers gently pressed tighter around his hand as if holding on to the moment, and him just a bit longer. Worth the risk of fainting if it makes you touch me like that. You stood beside his hospital bed looking at the bandaged hand and then up at his face. Look, I said your cut was deep. You have got 4 stitches. You stated matter-of-factly, expecting concern or relief, but instead he was just admiring you, smiling softly. His injured hand was casually locked behind his head on the pillow as if he had forgotten all about the pain and stitches. You sighed softly and looked around the private hospital room, equipped with cozy amenities and stunning city view. What's the need for this room? The doctor said we could leave. You asked, turning back to him with raised eyebrows. You took a room and we are staying here? You're here for a vacation? You went on insisting on bringing me to the hospital. As we're already here, let's spend some time together. Just us. His voice dropped to a gentle whisper on the last 2 words, making your heart skip a beat as he added, because we were interrupted earlier. You gulped at the subtle reminder of the interrupted moment. What's there to spend time on, Jungkook? We're stitched up, ready to go. But he just smiled at you, looking deep into your eyes. Then he swung his leg off the bed and stood up, moving carefully, even with the stitches. You took a step back without thinking, trying to put some space between you two. You took another step back, but you couldn't look away from him, like something was pulling you in. Conversations, unfinished sentences, unanswered questions, and maybe getting to know why wine saves my life but not my heart. You stepped even closer and you found yourself against the wall. Talk to me, wine. Your voice caught in your throat as you took a gentle step closer. Changok stopped moving closer. He halted barely an inch from your outstretched hand. Why should I stop? You're backing away. I'm just closing the distance you're creating. His gaze dropped to your lips, then back to your eyes, making your heart flutter wildly. Besides mine, I think we are closer to the truth when we are close like this. Do you feel it too? Your heart skipped beats as his whisper seemed to vibrate through your entire body. Feel what? This connection, this spark, everything that happens when we are close. His breath danced across your skin, sending shivers down your spine. His hand slowly rose, hesitating for a moment before gently brushing hair behind your ear. You're not pushing me away, Wine. A sign you're feeling it too. His lips were so close now, close enough to kiss, and his whisper seemed to hold a hopeful question. Suddenly his eyes dropped to your lips again, and he whispered almost silently, "Am I finally allowed to kiss you?" You looked down, feeling all confused like a teenager. Your heart beating like crazy, totally out of sync with your brain. You couldn't meet his intense stare, so your eyes just went to the floor. Your body was like, yes, to his quick question, wanting his touch and his lips so badly. But your heart was being all cautious and hits the brakes hard. He's Shangok, super popular, rich, and everyone loves him at college. And you're just one, an average student from a different crowd. And it feels like a long shot. Your mind kept reminding you why this crush was a bad idea. Your status, your normal life, his family's expectations. You took a deep breath, stealing yourself against the flutter in your chest. Your heart that has been beating wildly now feels like a heavy stone sinking deep. No, he can't. Those words felt like a door slamming shut. Why not wine? We both feel this, whatever it is between us. That's exactly why. Because of what we have or really what we don't have. Our lives are too different, Javo. Your family and your status. My family doesn't control my feelings fine. And having started doesn't matter if I can't share it with someone special. His words almost made your heart crack, but you quickly built up with your defenses again. That someone isn't me. His face dropped and you could see he was really disappointed. He looked away for a second, trying to gather his thoughts before looking back at you. Is it that you don't think you're good enough for me, or do you just not want me at all? His voice was kind of shaky, showing that he wasn't confident as usual. Hearing that made your heart ache a little. You wanted to reach out and comfort him, but you held back your hand. No, Shahok. It's just that I know what would happen if we took things further. Tell me one, what do you think would happen? His breath was warm against your skin, making it hard to speak. You lose your freedom and I lose myself. Lose yourself? What do you mean? You lose yourself to what? You swallowed art as those barely audible words stumbled out. My sense of self, because I'd fall completely in love with you. His face went still for a moment before he let out a happy sigh. No one's ever said anything so terrifyingly beautiful to me. Fall completely in love with me? Is that really something to fear? You whispered softly, but your words hit hard. Yeah, it's because your parents won't let us to be together since I'm not the right kind of girl. They looked a bit angry, like he was upset for you, but you kept going, talking about how things might go downhill. We can make our own choices now, but once our parents get involved, they will definitely be against it. His jaw clenched slightly, but you finished with a sentence that made his face fall further. Yes, even my own mom would oppose this, because she never dared to crave something about our status. She warned me about dreams like you. Okay, Ryan, now I'm clear of one thing. You like me, or at least you're feeling, and you're scared that you'll lose me. You're scared about the social status and my wealth, that there could be a hindrance between us, right? You nodded slowly, totally caught up in his gaze, and out of nowhere, he kissed your cheeks, first one side, then the other, making you gasp in shock. This moment marks the beginning of my claim on you, Ryan. From this breath, this heartbeat, this kiss, you're bound to me, forever, whether fate or society approves or not. Your lips parted a little, trying to say something, but your voice got stuck. You wanted to say anything to push back against what he said to keep your heart safe from getting hurt, but the words just wouldn't come out. They were stuck behind your shaky lips. Deep down, you know that denying it would be just lying to yourself. You already had a special spot in your heart, one you tried to protect, but he sweetly found a way to break through. There's no point staying here now, but one thing remains unfinished. That interrupted kiss. I'll take it soon. Your cheeks flushed instantly and you looked away. Now shall we leave? You have my key. Eva took a taxi back to college, right? You nodded, still looking down, but you immediately glanced up. Can you try? The stitch will hurt if you. But his index finger gently pressed against your lip, silencing you. I'm perfectly fine. Want to test my energy on you? You shook your head vigorously multiple times, looking away quickly. Then come on, I'll drop you home. He started walking out of the hospital room, his bandaged hand casually by his side. You followed closely behind him, exhaling deeply as if releasing pent up emotion. You trudged into your home, college bag still slung over your shoulder, weighed down by disappointment. Jungkook hadn't shown up on campus for 2 whole days, and while you knew it was probably because of his injured hand, you couldn't help but wish to see him. As you stepped into the living room, your sadness quickly morphed into shock. There he was, lounging on your couch, his bandaged hand resting on his knee like he belonged there, and right next to him were his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Chan, looking all formal and serious. Your mom stood off to the side with a nervous smile plastered on her face, which only added to the weird vibe in the room. Chow winked at you, making you flinch, but his parents' serious presence kind of killed the mood. This definitely wasn't just a casual hangout. Well, I'm glad you're home. We were just discussing future arrangements with your mother. Arrangements? What on earth did he mean by that? You squinted a bit as you caught Jungkook's eye. He showed you this sly little smile like he was the mastermind behind the whole moment. Right, so we were talking about future plans. Jungkook mentioned he has got a thing for you. Her look was soft but kind of probing, like she was trying to read your mind. And we have chatted about this with your mom. Looks like both families are on the same page. You shot a glance at your mom, her earlier note now clashing with what she was saying. She looks just as surprised, like she suddenly realized that John's totally misunderstood her. No, 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 I think there's been a mix up here. I just meant if that's what makes my daughter happy, then I'm all for it. It's completely her choice. Shagok's proud grin wavered for a sec before he let out a low laugh, leaning forward with his elbows on his knees. Looks like my parents jumped the gun on, well, everything, including your answer to that question I already asked you. So you have already asked her out? What did she say? A sly grin hinted at some secret as he shot you a quick glance before turning back to your mom. Why don't you ask her yourself? Your mom's hand rested gently on your shoulder, giving you that little nudge to speak up. You took a deep breath, letting the words flow out slowly, feeling a bit exposed. Mom, I'm not sure I'm old enough to make my own choices, but I'll tell you this time. My answer to him was real in that moment, but my heart is kinda unsure. I'm scared of falling for him too hard. Changong leaned in a bit, his lips parting like he wanted to say something, but he held back. Because if I'm being real, Mom, maybe I already have. He gently looked up at Shangok only to see his eyes filling up, but he immediately looked up. Maybe he didn't want to show it outside how vulnerable he is for you, just as I thought. But our lives are so different. His money, his status, what our families expect. It freaks me out that one day these things could pull us apart, leaving me shattered. That's the only reason I'm holding back. Your mom looked a bit taken aback by your heartfelt words, but a gentle smile crept on your face. Just when she was about to say something, this Jion stood up commanding attention. You love my son, and that's all really matters. Money and status, they don't mean a thing if Jungkook's heart is happy. She shot a glance at her son, then back at you, and it's clear his heart is happiest when he's with you. Honestly, he has never really asked for anything that meant a lot to him until now. All those luxuries, all those fancy cars he has driven, they were just gifts, little treats for a boy. But this, wanting you, sweetheart, is the first time he has ever asked for something straight from his heart. And you know what? He totally picked the right thing, the right person. Your eyes again traveled to Django, whose eyes were shining with all kinds of feelings, like his mom's word were giving him the green light to let it all out. We have never seen Django so into anything so fired up, except for you. Your mom looked like she was about to burst into tears. She glanced at you, then Django, before turning back to Mrs. John. Mrs. John, thank you for these precious words about my daughter. While Dad and I, we have struggled to provide for her until recently. We barely made ends meet. But her father's illness had drained everything. He's being treated at a special hospital now. I think God has given us a chance, a blessing to allow Wai to live her life fully happily. She smiled through tears, looking at Zhao with affection. It's someone who loves and cares for her deeply. Mrs. Jian stepped forward, embracing your mother warmly. We are grateful too. Shango's heart was missing something, someone. Your daughter completes him. You wiped your tears away and smiled between seeing Shango walking up to you. Since she completes me, can I get your blessing to always keep her happy? Mr. John cleared his throat, grinning like he just heard the best shock. I think we have given enough blessings for one night. How about we have a nice dinner tomorrow to celebrate? Your mom nodded, wiping away a tear as she looked at you. Our pleasure. Then let me cook something for you all to snack on before leaving tonight. How thoughtful of you. Thank you. Then she turned her attention to you and Chango. Well, till tomorrow's celebration, how about Chango walks you to your room to discuss your future? Jungkook's soft breath catches in his throat and the same goes with you. Your mother nodded subtly as if giving silent permission. Mr. John cleared his throat again, smiling at his wife. Shall we help with those snacks, then head home to prepare for tomorrow? Mrs. John nodded, linking arms with her husband and your mother. Leave these two to discuss their future. Tonight marks a beautiful beginning. With that, they walked towards the kitchen, leaving you alone with Shahok. You gasped as he leaning closer and his shoulder hits you from behind. Shall we discuss our future, Ryan, in private? You stepped into your room and Shahok was right there, trailing behind you like a shadow. You took a moment to soak in the space around him. Hope you let go of those insecurities tonight. Are you still worried about what our parents think? He asked, glancing around again. You shook your head slowly, keeping your eyes down as you tried to wrap your mind around everything that had just happened. Then, out of nowhere, he moved in close, pinning you gently against the wall. His hands were on the either side of your head, and he was so close you could feel his breath on your skin. I told you, Ryan, I'll surely make you mine. You couldn't help but teasing back, trying to sound calm even though your heart was pounding like crazy. But we are not married yet, but before that, without warning, he attacked your lips with a soft, gentle kiss. His hands pinned beside your head, framing your face with tender touch, making your heart beat wildly. His warm breath brushed against your skin, leaving behind a trail of soothing heat that sent shivers down your spine. You could sense him lost in bliss, eyes shut tight, fully immersed in the magic of this moment, your first kiss together. Kiss was slow, intimate, as if Jungkook wanted to memorize every sensation, every heartbeat. After a few minutes, he paused, still brushing his lips against yours. Was that okay? Leonard still tingled from his kiss as he nodded slowly. I have wanted to do that for so long. Now that I have, I don't want to stop. Your heart skip beats faster as his hands slide on your face, thumbs tracing gentle patterns on your cheeks. For a brief moment, he stared at your eyes, delving into the depths of your soul where desire shimmered like stars in the night sky. Then, like a lion seizing its prey, his lips crashed onto yours, fierce, passionate, and utterly consuming. His hands moved closer to your neck, gentle fingers tangled in your hair, pulling you closer. You clutched onto his shirt and he slowed slightly. Mine. Seeing you struggle to breathe, he pulled back slowly and watched as you gasped softly for air. He licked his lips slowly as if savoring the taste of your kiss. Your chest still rising and falling rapidly, and his gaze stopped your lips and held your eyes. Left you breathless, did I? You nodded shyly, then slowly your breath came back normal. Shaho, I want to say two things. Sure, one, I'm all ears. You took a deep breath before sharing your heartfelt desires. Even after getting married to you, I don't want to forget who I was before all this luxury surrounded me. I just want to study if I can and get a job, not because we'll need the money, but for myself. Look after my parents, provide for my dad's medicine regularly so he stays healthy. I just don't want to step into your luxury and forget everything. My roots, my family struggles, the person I became because of them. He gently brushed his thumb on your hand and pulled you closer. You'll never forget because I'll remind you every day of the strong, beautiful woman I fell in love with. Not Jungkook's wife, but you. Now what's the second thing? Your voice turned playful yet deadly serious at the same time. Don't ever flirt with any girls again. I'm gonna kill you if I find out. He burst out laughing softly, clearly entertained by your jealousy. Death threat already. Relax, Wine. Your words, they are not just threats to me. They are promises I hold dear. If you ask me to die for you, I'll do that for you without hesitation. This, not flirting with others, is a small sacrifice compared to my life which already belongs to you.